Hi, this is Diane Dobry at Getting Hungry, and we're doing an interview today with Gabor Bonfalvi of Taste Hungary, located in Budapest. And Gabor was interviewed a number of years ago, pre-pandemic, about his wine company, his tour company, and a lot has changed since then. So, welcome, Gabor. I'm glad to be able to talk to you now about what's going on in Hungary and in your company and what people who either live in the country or who are visiting the country can look forward to.
Well, hi Diane, thank you so much for having me. And me and my wife Carolyn, who is American, started Taste Hungary in 2008. Uh, it started out as a family-owned small business, and we are still small, although we did grow quite a bit since
Yeah.
2008. But it's still, owned exclusively by us and managed exclusively by us. We have a big team now, a couple of managers, and we work with a number of sommeliers and a number of guides. And our main our main focus hasn't really changed. We still love food and wine, and we still love Hungary, and we still love to educate people and share this knowledge with visitors. So this is what we do: food and wine tours in Hungary, and also beyond Hungary in the all over Eastern Europe, let's say.
So there's a lot of new tours on your website, and when I went, I did do the culinary and wine walk, which was really interesting with foods in the central market and around like the blood sausages and stuff from a butcher, candy and things that I don't know if they're even still around at this point, but you've got quite a few new ones as well, including a Danube cruise. So, why don't you tell us about them and let us know what you find to be the most popular one?
Yeah, thank you. So the culinary walk that you took, we still have. That's our oldest walk, the first one we ever sort of created, and it's also the first ever food and wine focused walk in English in the city of Budapest.
Really?
We started in 2010ish, and ever since it has been running, with the exception of the COVID years. It's a 5 hour walk today. When you took it, it was a 4 hour walk. Now
Hmm.
we changed it a little bit. The tour has survived now 16 years.
Really?
There are some suppliers that did not survive, so we had to change it a little bit to bring in some new great producers. And anyway, I mean, after a decade or so, you do rethink, do we want to change anything? And so the walk is essentially the same. Now it's 5 hour long. It starts at the central market with
Hmm.
a bit of introduction and history of the market, a couple of tastings. You'll taste pickles, you'll have a drink, and you'll taste langos, which is
Mm.
this fried flatbread here in Hungary. And then uh, we'll hop on the tram and we'll go to a totally different neighborhood. We'll ride along the Danube, Budapest's river, and go a
Yeah.
little further north, stay very central, but still, kind of away from the touristy area. And in this neighborhood called Újlipótváros, we go to a small restaurant, have a soup for lunch. We go to pastry shops. We go to a cheese shop, and then we go to another market, and totally off the beaten track market in Budapest, and there we have a sit down lunch uh, that is also owned by a butcher. The buffet is owned by a butcher.
Hmm.
They own a farm, and then they also own a butcher shop and a small buffet at the market. So it's very authentic lunch experience. Then we get on the metro, kind of like a metro that tourists usually don't take,
Hmm.
and we go to our own place, the tasting table for a wine tasting, and then we finish with the classic Hungarian desserts, dobos torta and Esterházy cake and a couple of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very comprehensive walk. There's a lot of content, both food and information, and it actually covers a huge area in Budapest. I love the walk, and we launched it this spring, and we have been getting some very good feedback about it.
Oh, I'm sure. All the different places you're stopping, it's not just a food and wine tour. You're getting a good look at the city and how to get around, and then you have the Jewish Quarter walk, which is similar in the similar area, isn't that? And with some
Yeah,
history as well.
we have three walks that we offer that are food walks. The Jewish walk takes place in another neighborhood in the old Jewish quarter of Budapest, which is actually still kind of an active quarter for Jewish people. There are at least four active synagogues right in that neighborhood. We visit two of them on this tour, sometimes only one, because if there's a wedding going on or some kind of religious event, then we can go in.
Hmm.
But we visit one or two smaller synagogues. We also go to a market there, and we have traditional Hungarian Jewish soups and
Hmm.
main course on this tour. So Hungary has a very rich heritage when it comes to Judaism, and we wanted to honor this with the walk. It's not as popular as the culinary walk, but also if you're interested in this, then it's quite an amazing walk.
Yeah, I think I did go on that one as well, and there was a lot of history about the synagogue and the shoes
Mhm.
display on the Danube. And then the Palace District evening culinary walk. That sounds new.
That is a new one. I don't think you have had a chance to take that
No.
one yet. Our wine cellar here in Budapest is located in the so-called Palace District,
Hmm.
Palota Negyed. It's a central area, but actually then not so central, but kind of central, located behind the National Museum.
Hmm.
And
And that's where the
in that,
tasting table is as well.
yes, so the Palace District is where the tasting table is located. So it's sort of our home base and our home district. So back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when Hungary was part of the Austro-Hungarian monarchy, the city was like growing really rapidly, and this palace district developed very, very rapidly at the time. So all these small, well, actually not so small, but all these mansions were pulled up,
Hmm.
owned, each of them owned by single families. Well, they are no longer owned by single families, but they are still standing and they are still really beautiful, and they each have a long, interesting story. For example, the building that the tasting table is based in was owned by the Keglevich family. It was Croatian, Hungarian, Austrian noble family, and they were in the vodka and liqueur production. So
Oh,
another building right next door was owned by the Törlei family. It's one of Hungary's
the
oldest,
champagne, right?
oldest, exactly
The
oldest
sparkling.
sparkling wine brands,
Hmm.
Pesgő brands. The brand, unlike the Keglevich brand, still exists. You can still buy Törlei Pesgő all over Hungary.
They're in Etchek.
They
Is
used
that?
to live in that area. We focus on the Palace district. We go into a couple of courtyards. We go into a library, and while you're learning about the history of Hungary, the history of that particular district, you stop at four or five different places and have a dish at each one of them or
Hmm.
two.
Can people buy wine from places or what from you on the tours?
Well, the tour starts at the tasting table, so yeah, for sure you can buy wine there. Usually people don't because they don't feel like carrying it for
Carrying
the
it.
next four
Hmm.
hours. But sometimes people come back and then buy wine.
Hmm.
In the other places, those are more restaurants. So there's a pastry shop, a
Hmm.
bar, So yeah, they wouldn't be buying wine so much. They have
Okay.
wine, but it's not
Yeah.
they aren't going to
They
places
have it
with
on
food.
the tour. They drink it on
Yes.
the tour.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the three food walks we have. We used to have another one called Buddha Food Walk. So Buddha is the western side, the
Hmm.
older side of town,
Oh yeah.
and that used to be going to really off the beaten track places. Uh, with COVID, we took it off, and then we never recreated it because a bunch of places closed.
Oh,
But we are planning to bring it back because actually people are emailing us and looking for it and still remembering it and raving about it. So that is going to come back, and that will be our walk number 4.
okay.
And besides the walk, we do wine tastings. So at the tasting table, we have daily wine tastings at 3 and 6 p.m. Hungarian wine is very good,
I
but
got
also
started.
very much obscure and unknown to most people
Americans or outside.
who don't live nearby.
Hmm.
And so our job there is to pour you a few glasses and give you a little bit of cheese and charcuterie to go with it, and a nice presentation on Hungarian wine.
Mm.
So we do a lot of tastings, and we also take people to wineries. So you can book a day trip with us,
Hmm.
going to one of the 22 Hungarian wine regions. Tokaj is the most famous one.
Is that the
Tokaj
most popular as well?
is the most popular wine region when it comes to our tours. Absolutely. And it's only a white wine region, both dry and sweet wine. World class, amazing, amazing stuff.
Mm.
So there's that, and we also started to advertise vacations. Yeah, trips, vacations. I'm not sure what is the right way to call them, but these would be typically a week or longer,
Really?
9-day tours where we cover a region of Hungary, or sometimes, like next year, we're taking a group to the Istrian peninsula of Croatia. Well,
Oh,
it's actually a
wow.
peninsula, an area that is shared between Slovenia and Italy and Croatia. So it's a very exciting part of the world. And so for next year's tour, that is the one that we picked. This can be done, on a public basis with the dates that we advertise. We never put more than 12 people together because we realize that that's good for sharing exactly one bottle of wine. If you have 13 or 14, you need 2 bottles. That's actually also important, but it's just a sign that we want to keep it familiar. We want to keep it friendly and a
Right.
way to talk to everyone and a way for everyone to ask questions. And we can do this on a private basis. So many times we put up the itinerary, for a particular tour, and then people say, okay, I'm really interested in this, but could we do it a month later or earlier,
Hmm.
because that's what suits me and my friends. And then usually there's a little surcharge for that, because you do need a
A private,
you know
that's considered a private tour or
that would be
it
a
cha-
private tour. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Because I'm looking at that's a 2027 trip, the one you were just talking about, and that's a year from now, late May,
Mhm.
which is probably how's the weather there?
Oh, the weather there is going to be perfect. It's
Okay.
I mean, it's actually going to be happening. I have to look at the days, but more or less exactly a year from now.
Yeah, May
And
22nd to 30th, I think it is. So
okay, so we will be in
that's
Istria
a year from
exactly
now.
in a year. That's a public tour, so we have 12 guests that reserved for it. It's actually fully booked. I'm so happy about it.
Oh, right.
And
Okay.
there's a waiting list for people to join.
Hmm.
And if more people join, then maybe we'll add like a second date.
It's an interesting tour because I've heard a lot of good things about Slovenia. And so are you going up the coast basically?
We're gonna meet in Italy,
Oh.
in in the in the Venice airport, because it's actually a very easy one to fly
Hmm.
into from anywhere in the world. And actually, people don't mind adding a day or two to spend in Venice.
Hmm.
So we'll meet in Venice, and then we will spend 3 days in Trieste. That's the capital of the Friuli region of Italy, and we'll get to know the city. The city is really unique because it has this. it has this Viennese feel to it,
Oh,
but you're in
yeah.
Italy. But when you go to a cafe, it feels like a Viennese coffee house. When you
Oh,
order, when you look at a menu, you're gonna see like Austro-Hungarian dishes on one side of the menu, and on the other side you'll see like Italian pasta dishes. So very, very interesting combination of cultures, languages. So we'll spend a couple of days in Trieste. We'll also discover the Friuli wine region, which is a major white wine region of Italy. Uh, the main thing there is Friulano. Well, they have many indigenous grapes. One of the major ones is called Friulano, crisp, fruity, white wine. So after that, we'll spend one day in Slovenia, and then we'll spend the rest of the trip, which is going to be 4 or 5 nights,
in
in
Croatia.
Rovinj, the capital of the Istrian Peninsula,
Oh,
and coastal town, beautiful old Venetian town, with the Venetian Tower in the middle, and it's a seafood and truffle and well, pretty much any kind of, yeah, wine lovers paradise. Um, we will take a fishing boat, one of the days,
hmm.
and cook on the boat. We'll do truffle hunting another day. We'll
Oh
go
my
to an
gosh.
oyster farm. So it's an extravaganza. It's
It's great
really
for a bunch of culinary students from, I keep thinking of like, because of the tour, the private tour that you and I organized for some agricultural business students that I was working with at the college in New York. Um, they never had gone to Hungary. They had only gone to England and France, I think. And I said, "Oh, I can get them in Hungary to Hungary." And you and I went through it. They said that was the most educational tour that they had for the ag business students. And they also have a culinary program at that college, which is near where I live now. But I would think a culinary school to do a tour like that, like the Adriatic extravaganza that you're talking
Mhm.
about, and any of the tours, it's 7 days. You know, that's because you said you do private tours as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, um, these tours, these itineraries that we advertise, yes, we're going to run these, and you can sign up for these. But we also try to use these as sort of like a teaser that if
Hmm.
you think you have a group of students, whether they are wine students, culinary students, or students of agriculture or history,
Mm.
uh, we could add those special interests in the itinerary, and gear these towards the interest that you're trying to add and bring on board for the crowd that you were trying to bring over. Budapest is an amazing food destination. It's an amazing
Yeah.
wine destination. It's amazing for history geeks. I mean, we had two
Hmm.
major dictatorships here in the
And World
20th
War
century.
II and
Yeah,
World
World War I, World War
uh,
II. So
yeah,
a lot of things happened here,
the
just in the
Soviet
past
takeover.
century
Oh my
that
gosh,
people read about, people watch documentaries about, and here you can still see, the bullet holes in some of the buildings. So history, architecture could be a major attraction,
that's true.
and and
Design.
uh,
Hmm.
design, music. We have amazing folk music. We have really
Hmm.
nice classical concert halls. The opera is open and waiting for you. Hungary is very famous for the violin players and
Hmm.
also the pianists.
The
Uh,
Charda.
Franz Liszt was, a Hungarian
Yes.
who started a whole tradition of piano schools here.
Hmm.
So there are many, many different layers. And on, all of our tours are definitely, I would say, 50% food and wine.
Hmm.
And then the other 50% would be, okay, maybe 60% food and wine. But the rest 40% will be, we like to add, a little break here and there to actually also include music,
Hmm.
include some kind of museum, concerts, dance house,
I was
something like
just
that.
going to ask if you go to the museums, the Hungaricum Museum and the Ethnography Museum. That gives a really good cultural perspective
Yep,
as well.
and I'm not sure if you've seen the new version of the ethnography museum.
I loved the old one. It was such a beautiful building, but it was smaller. But
Yeah, the old one was next to the parliament. This new one is in City Park. It's a really
yeah.
nice building, very modern from the outside
Hmm.
with folk motifs on the walls,
Hmm.
and it has this
Yeah, the shape is you
hollow
can walk on top of
space,
it.
and you can walk
Hmm.
on top. And in the middle of the building, in the most hollow part, is the 56 memorial, the uprising against the Soviet Union,
Oh, really?
cutting the tradition in half, communism. In City Park, there's the a new concert hall, the Hungarian House of Music.
Really?
It's also an awarding-winning architecture, uh, right in this center of City Park, with the roof and some of the terraces made look like fall leaves are covering the building. So yeah, right there are two,
And the art
amazing places that
museums are on either side of Hero
the art
Square.
museums are right there, and Gundel restaurant. I mean,
Yes.
Gundel has new management,
Oh,
and
really?
they are doing a great job. Yeah.
And that's the thermal baths are right across the street, aren't they?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
The
mean, right around City Park, you could spend a weekend easily with the
or two.
thermal baths, the museums, and
Hmm.
the concert
Oh,
hall.
yeah.
It reminds me, I forgot to say that if you like spas and hot water and thermal water, then Budapest is again a destination that you should put on your
Yeah.
list. In the wine regions, um, Villány, our southernmost red wine region, has a
Hmm.
nice spa area. Eger has nice thermal spas.
Hmm.
Uh, of course, Lake Balaton.
Yeah, you have some the southern Hungary where the paprika. I know they have a paprika museum that you set up for my tour.
Yeah, so the Paprika Museum is really nice. The one you went to is owned by a producer. She's still up and running
Hmm.
and producing paprika. So paprika is one of the things that is associated with Hungarian cuisine.
Yeah.
It's a fairly new comer to our cuisine. 200 years ago, we started using it in the early 1800s, and for one reason or another, it became our national spice. I'm not sure if you know or not. In the 1800s, Hungarians like to put color, the paprika color, in their foods to distinguish their cuisine from the Austrian cuisine. Yeah, it
Ah.
became sort of a symbol of identity and nationalism or patriotism, whatever you call it. So paprika started out like that, and it stuck with us ever since. Although, if you really look at very old Hungarian recipes, there's no paprika, in the pre 1800, early 1800 recipes in Hungarian cookbooks.
Okay.
We make a lot of soups, we make a lot of stews,
Yes.
and paprika adds a perfect color and a perfect also texture to, if you make a beef stew,
Hmm.
you add paprika. You have to, also add some fat or oil to it to bring out the color and melt it. But it adds if you cook it on high heat enough and for long enough, then it adds a really nice creamy texture to any stew, any meat that you make. Southeastern part of Hungary is where most of the paprika
Is
production
it in
happens,
Szeged
in the
area?
Szeged,
Uh-huh.
Szeged area, all the way down at the Serbian border, in the Kalocha area, uh, kind of in central Hungary. It's also a nice wine destination. There's just because you grow paprika, you can also make wine on the side. So we have a lot of aromatic whites grown
Hmm.
in the Great Plain. We have like
Yeah.
Cserszegi Fűszeres,
Yeah.
Irsai, wines that you are nice to drink during the day. They are usually like light in alcohol.
Um,
Yeah, so Hungary is a great wine destination. We
mm,
have our own unique varietals, grape varieties that no other country, no other regions really have.
Right.
We are more of a white wine drinking country. About 70% of our production is white. And it's a small country, but we have 60,000 hectares of vineyards scattered all
Mm.
over the place. The unique varietals, uh, the volcanic soil in much of the country, and this kind of cool continental climate turn out really outstanding stuff. Good acidity, good fruitiness, usually elegant, medium to medium full bodied wines. Usually not overwhelmingly heavy, not
Yeah.
overwhelmingly acidic. There's a very nice elegance and balance in many of the Hungarian wines. To name a few, Furmint, when it comes to the white
Hmm.
grapes, Furmint is my favorite and the most important
And it's
quality.
popular now. It hadn't been
Very
popular
popular.
like
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Cserszegi Fűszeres that you
Mm.
mentioned is a newcomer. It's an aromatic varietal, but it also comes with a bit of grassiness,
Hmm.
which is very pleasant because then it's not overwhelmingly aromatic.
You
Could
need.
compare it to a dry, muscat, for example.
I noticed you go to Somló, which is where the Juhfark wines are. And do people know that that's the wine of the heirs to the throne,
They
a
don't.
male heir?
Yeah, they don't before they take a tour with us, but on the tour or on a tasting, if we taste Juhfark, then they will definitely know by the end.
Mm.
So, I mean, the story starts. I guess we need to start with the grape. Juhfark is the name of the grape,
Hmm.
believe it or not, and believe it or not, it translates as sheep tail or sheep's tail.
Hmm.
Whoever named it was probably inspired by the shape of the bunch of this grape, and it is grown all over the place in little quantities, but it's most famous and most prominent in the Somló wine region of Hungary. Somló is in the western part of the country, northwestern part, and it's a volcanic hill
Yeah.
composed of basalt, solidified lava. And the legend says that the Habsburgs used to drink wine made from Somló and made from this grape variety on the wedding night because, according to their practice, it resulted in a successful wedding night. And the male heir, was born
Hmm.
as a result of, or partially as a result of the young couple consuming, the right amount of Juhfark.
I had read about Catherine the Great of Russia, and
Hmm.
her mother-in-law was very pushy that she should conceive a child to be the heir, and apparently she and her husband slept separately and never really interacted
Ooh,
much.
well, it's hard without.
And the mother would say, maybe you should go to Hungary to get to have the. I assume that's what she meant about the Ufok wines. But you also have some winter, like Christmas time
Yeah,
tours as well,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's always fun. People like those.
December is a busy season for us. Yeah, December is always good with tourism, and it's always good with wine sales as well. So we decided to add a Christmas season tour.
It's
There's a
beautiful
big Christmas.
there.
It's
That's when
beautiful.
I first went to Hungary was right after Christmas, so for New Year's Eve. That was my first visit in 2003. I was just like a child, mesmerized by how pretty it is. And now, even
Well,
with all the light shows they do and everything on the basilica.
yep, yeah, there are a lot of light shows. The whole city is decorated. There is mulled wine everywhere, and
Mm-hmm.
that's our only tour that really focuses on Budapest. It's somewhat shorter than our other, summer and fall vacations.
Hmm.
This one is a little shorter and focuses on cooking and trying traditional Hungarian dishes, and also we focus on the wine regions that are in or just outside of Budapest, because nobody wants to travel too
Hmm.
much on a bus during Christmas. It's
No.
better to be in a wine cellar and in a big city. So we take advantage of the markets. We do a couple of cooking classes. Poppy seed is a big thing in Hungarian Christmas and
Hmm.
actually Hanukkah cooking as well. It's an ingredient that we use a lot in baking,
Hmm.
sweet, semi-sweet, sometimes even like savory stuff. So that is a part of the tour. That is also the tour that immediately got attention, and it seems
Really?
like people are very inspired by it, and they are inspired to take it.
Especially if they're taking the river cruises that go up
Mhm.
the Danube and up to the Nuremberg and all that, they can celebrate Christmas in Budapest and then get on the boat and
Well,
go
a
beyond.
lot of people do that. They add on 3 4 days in Budapest, either at the end of the cruise or at the beginning, depending on
Hmm.
how their boats sail.
Yeah. Hmm. And then the tasting table, I had gone to one of the dinners at your tasting table, but I noticed that you had, not just those kinds of events. You have private events for
Mhm.
parties, and the group and team building activities looked like really interesting wine games. And tell me about
Mhm.
some of those. A bull's blood
Yeah.
blending
Well,
session.
yeah. Well, that's the best. That's the best one, and it's actually very. We don't do a lot of those, but whenever we do it for a company, people love it. So bull's blood is a Hungarian red blend
Hmm.
from the Eger or Sexad regions. There are two DOCs that can make it, and it's always a blend. It's always a red wine, and there is a pool of about 12, 13 grape varieties that you
Wow.
can use to make this blend. The backbone of the red blend, of the bull's blood blend, is the local red grape, Kék Frankos. We haven't talked
Mm.
about that yet. 40% of our red grape production is Kék Frankos. In the blending game, we divide, let's say there are 20 people. So we'll divide them into 5 groups.
Mm.
Each group will get 5 6 different kinds of wines, all single varietals, all made from one single grape
Great.
variety
Hmm.
that is allowed to be used in the bull's blood. And then they get measuring cups, and then they have to make their own bull's blood blend. And the sommelier at the end tastes it, and if there's a winner, the winning team will get a bottle of wine.
So
So
would have.
you start experimenting with little drops of each wine and taste it. If you want to make it heavier, like a real winemaker, then you're going to add more Cabernet to it. If you want to make it lighter, then you'll add some Kadarka to it.
Hmm.
If you want to make it fruitier, maybe you'll add some Cake Frankos to enjoy the beautiful cherry and sour cherry aromas that Cake Frankos has.
Were you saying there's prizes or something?
Oh yeah, at the end of the game, our sommelier who leads the game
Hmm.
tastes the wine that each group blended
Mm.
and decides who the winner is, and the winning team will get a bottle of wine.
Oh, that's nice.
Bull's blood, of course.
Yes, of course. Well, that sounds really exciting. I noticed that all the tours are really well described on your website. You have like the itineraries for the trips and more information based on the tours and the wine tastings. So the wine tastings are only at those particular times in the tasting table, or if I were walking down the street, can I walk in and say, "Can I have a taste of some
Mhm.
wine?"
At the tasting table at the cellar, only at 3 and 6 p.m.
Okay.
We have at the 3 p.m. one offers 5 kinds of wines and cheeses and
Mm,
charcuterie. The 6 p.m. tasting offers 8 wines and cheese and charcuterie. We also have a deluxe, so-called deluxe tasting, where we only taste top shelf wines, just
okay.
the most premium stuff. And we run any of these from a minimum of, actually there's no minimum number. For one person will run anything except the deluxe. For the deluxe, we'll need two.
Hmm.
But this is not a place where you can just walk in. You have to book into one of our sessions.
Into a session.
There's
Okay.
never more than 24 people on it, and it's
Okay.
usually less. The average is around 10 people, per tasting. And it's kind of it has that atmosphere, and we try to do it in a way that by the end of the second glass of wine, people are going to be making conversation. There's a
Yeah.
lovely atmosphere, and you'll get to meet people from anywhere in the world. Last year we had almost 100 different nationalities at the tasting
Oh my
table.
gosh.
So it's a popular place. And if you want to walk in and buy, we have a small shop
Across the
across the
street.
street, and that one has opening hours every day from noon to 8 p.m. We serve wine by the glass. We have
Hmm.
4 bar stools. It's a table outside,
Hmm.
so you can come in and try some wine, have a glass of wine, and then buy the bottles to take away. Mhm.
I noticed that all the tours and everything, there's bookings online for tours and trips. Is that the only way to do it? Or if I were in Hungary walking around, could I just stop into either the tasting table or the shop
You can stop in at the shop always, yeah,
and
and
book a tour or
you can book
something?
anything there, of course. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Somebody's there from noon to 8 p.m.
Oh, okay. Noon to 8. And are
Yeah.
is there a limit, an age limit to any or all of the tours?
Well, you have to be 18 to drink alcohol, so kids can participate. Of course, I am not exactly sure about our policy, but like babies are, free of charge, or small kids.
Hmm.
Then above a certain age, there's a kid price.
Hmm.
They cannot drink alcohol, but they can take part in the tastings.
As far as
And
the food goes.
there is no upper age limit. It is a walking tour, though. There is a decent
Hmm.
amount of walking in some of the tours.
Yes, that was a long walking tour, the one, the 4 hour one I went on. This all looks really great. Do you have anything else like cooking going on, like a new building or some kind of a hotel, a pension?
Well, actually, yes. Um,
No, really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we stopped the U.S. importing, so that gives especially me, but also Carolyn, both of us a lot of quite a bit of free time. So,
Yes.
well, we started making wine in the Tokaj region. We have a
Okay.
small vineyard in the center of the Tokaj region,
Mm-hmm.
Furmint and Háslevelu plants, and we make small batches, a couple of barrels, well, 3-4 barrels a year
Mm.
of dry and sweet wine. And yeah, we are opening a small guest house in
Oh,
the
in
Tokaj region.
Tokai. Oh, I just was guessing. I didn't realize that.
I thought you heard something from maybe
No.
Carolyn.
Oh, I
It will
know that
have.
you have the vineyard, but I thought you were doing that and bottling the wine and selling it and
Well, we do that. We do that, but then we came across this building in the village where the winery is located, and well, we thought, okay, maybe we could add this to our repertoire,
mm,
and so hopefully we're in the middle of renovating it. There's the building is in great shape. It has 5 rooms and a shop and a huge cellar, like a wine cellar.
wow.
So we can do tastings there. We can do classes there. There are five
Weddings?
rooms that we're going to be renting out. I am not sure if I'm ready to do weddings. That sounds very stressful. You know,
I
the
think
young
so.
the crowd can come there before the wedding just for a casual tasting, but
Mhm.
I don't think I will do weddings.
All right, anything else? Let me just give the website so people I have it's
Thank you.
tastehungry.com, and then there's different things like private dash events at the tasting table, or there's what else do we have? So it's basically tastehungry.com, correct?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. And it's so well laid out, pretty pictures. It's got everything like if you want trips, tours, tasting table. and private parties. It's all laid out there, so you can't and it's every detail. That's what I like.
It's best if you email us.
Okay, and the
Yeah.
email address is what is it?
Hello@tastehungary.com.
Hello at tastehungary.com. That's a nice way to put it. Well, that's great. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're
Thank
busy.
you. I
Y-
appreciate your interest in Hungary and your passion for Hungary.
And you guys are so impressive. I can't believe how much you've done over the years, and you're a great businessman. I mean, you've seen all kinds of opportunities, and you when you do it so well. I mean, even when you were doing wine in the US and it was the pandemic, and I was like, I just want some Hungarian wine, and all of a sudden the internet heard me, and boop, an ad popped up about get wine delivered from Taste Hungary, and I'm like, yes. And I did tastings, unboxing on my website, so it was great. It was right in time and just when I needed it. So now I got to come back to Hungary a little bit more
Yeah,
often.
please come back.
You guys are are great. I'm looking forward to visiting you and Carolyn and seeing what you're doing next.
Yeah,
And
come back and we'll have you over at the tasting table.
okay, that's great. Okay, I look forward to seeing you again. Okay,
Thank you, Diane.
take care. Talk to you soon.
Bye
Bye.
bye.